Hello and welcome to analytics. In this video, we are just going to continue from the previous post where we talked about how to prepare multiple responses. In this case, I'm just going to use a slightly different data, but also having the multiple responses. So in this case, we've got this column anti-seizure medication, and you can see now that here, this is the medication that was chosen, sodium valproate, and another one there, 2, 3, 4. And all these, there are also multiple responses. So let's just go ahead and see how we can plot this. Let's just quickly come to our code. So here, the first thing, let's just look into the data and see that anti-seizure is column number 19. So we can come here quickly and then just select that column there. And then let's run and see what we have. Okay, so we just proceed. So please do not worry much about the code. It's something that is actually the code written at analytics. So let's just proceed here with that. So here we're just saying we just want to proceed with our column names, or as lower, we'll talk about this in another video. So let's just continue here. For now, we're not dealing with tables. We need to plot. So in this case, I'll just select that. Then let's proceed as well. Then with that, now this is the point where we need to actually choose whether are we separating those or not. For the first time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep them as they are. I'm not going to unnest. So basically we'll leave them in the concatenated. So let's proceed. In this case, this is just about choosing the colors. So we're not interested in that for now, but definitely this, we need the graph to be, in descending order. So with that, then this is basically our graph. So let's just zoom it and just have an idea of how it looks. So if you look into this, you'll find that now we do have our graph where, I decided not to actually separate everything. So now our next graph that we're going to plot is we want to just count each individual. So we can see here, cut the sodium valproate, they're actually 40, but remember there are also these other sodium which are there. So we need to actually separate and count each and actually find out how many do we have. So that also gives a good sense of roughly how many patients. Say for example, in this case, this is patient data, how many patients were actually administered with this medication. If you check here, currently it means we are actually having 123 patients. So when we unnest this, we are likely to get a higher number. So let's just quickly redo that and see how it goes. So we're gonna proceed and then we run again. Then that comes. That's actually not what you're interested in for today. So I'll actually get to what you need to do. And then this also, we're just going to continue with the variable names in lowercase. We're not subsetting anything for now. And in this case, we're not doing tables, but now we need to do some plots. And then for this one, I could have gone with uni, but I will explain this in another video. For now, this is what you're having there. I need some bars in as much as we have seen the bars earlier. Normally to have enough space, we have to actually rotate the graph so that the bars are actually horizontal. So let's proceed. And when we continue, you'll find that we'll actually come to this point where we are given the opportunity to unnest. So then I'll say yes, unnest. Then here we also be given the opportunity to say, okay, we are unnesting at what point? So in this case, now we know our responses are actually separated with a comma. So then I'll put a comma and then this is the comma there. And then when we proceed, then in this case, after we have a nesting, we say, okay, these, how do we want them? So basically, I just want everything just to have a capital letter so we can continue. And in this case, remember, once we actually break them up, they will no longer be 123, there will be more than that. But our percentage, we can decide whether we want to have them as still as per the number of subjects, out of the number of subjects or patients, or participants, or we want it out of whatever the total number that has been separated. For now, what makes more sense in most of the time is just the subjects. So I'll do that. In the meantime, I'll plot all these 100%. Simply means now after we've separated, if there are few, then it's fine. At times there can be too many such that now we cannot have enough space to present them. So we can just at times select a certain portion, but I'll actually come back to that shortly. So let's just plot all of them and see how it looks. So this is just selection of the colors, and still we want that in descending order. Then if you check here, then this is how our graph looks like. So you find here now that we have just actually separated everything. So if I can just play back this part here so that you see. So if you check earlier, we had something like this. And then now we've decided now to actually split them so that we can count each one, which is basically what we are having here. Now, say for example, now again, if after we have nested and these, they actually remain, quite a big number. So we can say, okay, let's just possibly present, say, top 20% or 50%, depending on how we can possibly reduce so that we'll be able to visualize. Because in that situation, if there are too many times, you find that the graph will actually come, just, everything squashed up like that. So in this case now, let's just quickly go ahead and see how then do we actually, try to present only say the top, proportion. So I'm going to quickly go back here, and then I'm going to actually repeat the same procedure, and we're also going to follow all these steps, and I'm not actually subsetting anything for now, and we're not doing tables. And let's get down to the graphs, and we do that, and we proceed as usual. And then here we also nest, which is yes, and then now proceed again. We are separating at the comma, and here I just need to also keep them with all the first letters capital. Here I also say as subject. And now this time around, I'll say for example, now we said we just need, say, to present the top 60. So if we do that, this is just selection of the colors for our bars. And then here it will be always nice to have them in descending order. And then this is how the graph then looks like. So if you check here, then on the plot here, it is already programmed that now if you indicate 60, then it will calculate 60 is equivalent to how many of these. So remember, all in all, initially we had 13 of these. So the 60 is equivalent just to the top 7. And again, here we are saying all the percentages are not out of the 249, because after nesting, this actually increases. But now it makes more sense to say, okay, fine, these sodium vibrant, all in all, they were 106. But remember, we had 123 participants, or you can call it subjects. Then that is actually equivalent to 86. So that's basically how we can present, multiple responses. For today, we'll just end here. This is what we've just prepared for you. Until next time, thank you.